Recording is on.
So the recording indicator is on. You should all see it. Let me start with a welcome message for this AI-driven project management, leveraging data for smarter decision making. This is a webinar organized by the PMI Galicia Spain chapter. And as a reminder, please note we have the chat enabled. Feel free to use it. Starting with some introductions, I'm Luis Gonzalez, Senior Project Manager certified by the PMI and also volunteer at the Galicia chapter. I will be facilitating, hosting this webinar. Now, talking about our speaker today, Amos Ogunola, a certified project management professional with over 10 years of experience across nonprofit, education, and technology sectors. Amos holds a master's degree in econometrics and quantitative economy from the University of Georgia. He's led impactful projects in Nigeria and the US for big names like Meta, Google, and IBM. Right now, Amos is focused on deploying smart data systems and helping African student entrepreneurs using AI for better business planning. He's globally recognized for his contributions to education and project management. So, with this brief introduction, Amos, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you so much, Liz. Really appreciate that. Thank you for having me today. Hello, everyone. Hello, Susanna. Hello, John. Good to have you guys here. I've been briefed already that we are going to have a very small group of people joining us. So, I really love small small classes, so I don't really mind. Um, I want to say thank you for taking out your time and thank you to PMI Galatia for inviting me and also us trying to do this. I mean, we've been on this for a while. So I will go ahead and share my screen. I want to put a disclaimer that this session, um, I don't know what your thought process is before, but I want you to know that um, I'm going to make it as I'm going to make it as brief, as simple as possible. AI, like I was telling Luz, AI is a very complex topic to really talk about. We are not yet to code. It's just, like I always tell people, it's just to really make our life easier, right? And also to make our work really easier. So it's just on how we can leverage it or not. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's, can you see my screen now?
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, yeah. But just pardon me, I'm using two screens, so you might see me looking here. This is just my second screen that I'm trying to really just follow through. Yeah. So Liz has done the introduction, so I'll just really skip that. So in this slide, I've done a bit of 10 years about me, and 10 years, my last 10 years in the corporate sector, trying to work with people, work with different organizations. I'll just do a brief to just see what my journey really looks like and also share how I've been able to really navigate the changes in technology, the complex world we have today, different tools coming up day by day, and what we try to have in our space, in our corporate space, and also in 2016, I was still an undergrad, but I've had really flared passion for project management since my undergraduate days. So, I mean, I remember I used to do quite a whole lot of business on campus, managing projects, either of a fellowship or my personal business. I created a company called Chentibe Consult, and this is where my project management career really started out, in managing different kind of project across broad from 2016. Then I worked with a company that really shaping my ideology about project management, and that is Junior Achievement Nigeria. And today I will always tell people I will always be grateful for this organization because I've never seen myself working in a non-profit organization back in Nigeria. To say originally from Nigeria, I'm currently in the United States, finishing my master's, currently working, and yeah. So I worked with Junior Team in Nigeria as a regional project lead, and this is where I had opportunity to work with Big Shot, work with people like Google, Meta, name it. I don't see, I can't really find any organization that Jan did not really, out of the big league of organizations driving technology right now, I did not really see one that Jan did not partner with. And that gave me a good perspective into how technology is really shaping our world. We had a partnership with Google, had a partnership with Meta Facebook then before they became Meta, where we iterate the largest virtual, we call it the Facebook Save Online for digital literacy. Then I went with my fan base Africa. Then I worked with the University of Georgia as a data and research analyst. I did a summer internship with Junior Achievement USA. Currently doing work with PMI San Diego and also with the Nested Gear, the data analyst and data engineer. So this is just a bit of my background, 10 years from now. But my quick question, really, my first question that I was going to ask this. When you started hearing about AI, artificial intelligence and all, do you ever have this thought, and you can put the comment, you can type it in the comment section, do you ever have it at the back of your mind if artificial intelligence will actually replace project managers? Do you think you ever had the thought that, when you listen to podcasts and webinars and go to shows or go to conferences about artificial intelligence technology, the new boards and all stuff like that, you see people start talking about fourth industrial revolution, how robots will take on jobs, how our jobs are not safe. I mean, we are seeing it now, but do you ever have that fear that you feel like your job is at stake because you feel like there's a machine coming or there's a tool that will actually do your work and do it far better than you? Anybody? I mean, if you don't have that fear, no problem. But I just really want to really know if we ever see artificial intelligence as a threat before.
So let me do a quick translation just for completeness.
Okay.
Amos pregunta si en algún momento habéis sentido el temor de que la inteligencia artificial de alguna manera pueda reemplazar nuestro trabajo en gestión de proyectos, ¿no? En algún aspecto, no tiene por qué ser en la totalidad, pero sí de alguna manera.
Gracias por la traducción. Thank you for the translation.
Bueno.
Sí, la verdad es que sí.
Yes, at some point, yes, Amos, one of the answers.
Okay, thank you, Susanna. I wanted to ask you, Luis, do you think you want to come in and interpret, or can they hear me? Am I too fast? I just want to be sure that I'm communicating well enough, really.
Thanks for checking. Susana, Juan Manuel, si creéis que ayudaría que Amos hable más despacio, que él es flexible en eso, que como queráis.
Sí, por favor.
Vale.
Mejor.
Perfecto. Amos, very much appreciated. Yes, if you could please slow down a bit, it would help.
Okay. Thank you, Laz. Yeah. So, I mean, Susanna said a bit. I tell you, I had that fear too. I mean, while I was trying to also dig my head into what is really happening in the tech space. I've spent years working in the development space. I mean, I've done quite a lot of work working in the educational sector, working with nonprofit. Then I switched back into tech. And I tell you of a free, sometimes I feel like when are we going to keep up with different tools coming out day by day just because people want to make our life better? And when I started noticing that it's not going to stop, then I looked at it from another lens, and which is what I'm going to be talking about today. And to say that, will AI replace project managers? I've had this debate over and over again with my friends, and we always come at a standpoint. And this is what I always say. I said, for me, I don't think, and I don't think, and not I don't think, I know that AI will not replace project managers, because there are quite a lot of stuff as project managers that we are doing that artificial intelligence will not be able to really grab, especially for people working on the field, right? If you are working in a non-profit sector right now, you are going into classroom to teach disadvantaged students about maybe financial literacy or digital literacy. You might say robot might be able to do that, but the empathy, the feeling, the emotion, I mean, student might not even be able to relate. So that part of project management, you will not really see being displaced totally. Will AI replace some jobs for project manager? Yes, totally. Like, I hate to admit yes, but how should we see AI going forward as project managers? I feel like we should see it as an enabler, something that can get us, that can make us do the work faster, easier, and even make us even smarter by the way we tend to use it. So let's go to my next slide. And my next slide is also asking that question, right? My question is with artificial intelligence, but you already answered me or make them smart. I already said that, you know, AI will replace project managers. No need to fear, but we need to know how to leverage it to get the best use out of it. You know, there's something I told myself while I was working and also doing this. I said, as project managers working under someone, or you have a line manager, we need to constantly get to a place whereby we are at the top of new tools that can actually help us make our work better. And note, not technology teams suggesting it for us or data teams suggesting it for us. I want us to get to a place whereby you have an update about a particular tool, AI tool, that can actually make your work easier, smarter, before there's a recommendation, or before there's a recommendation coming from the tech team. I'm talking about work. Try and see how at which you are the one also suggesting based on personal use. You know, Liz was telling me that even though he knows how to use some of these tools, his workplace is kind of very, lay back when it comes to using a lot of AI tools, and that's the truth, because there are a lot of them out there. Everybody's creating. There are a lot of what's it called, engineers creating tools here and there. But I will say this before I move to the next slide, to say that, guys, try as much as possible to get ahead of your team when it comes to tools that you know can make your work better, even before they suggest it at all. So for this, I said job elimination or role evolution. No job elimination, like I said, but role evolution, yes. A whole lot of tools are out there that is trying to do what you say you want to do for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. People are not even going on spreadsheet to create project charter, to create scheduling tasks, and not know, because all these tools that you're already using, they are AI enabling already. You can enable AI. Are you talking about Monday.com? Monday.com already has AI. Trello, but we are going to get that. Don't let me get ahead of myself. For traditional project manager, you know this already. Manual planning, static reporting, meaning that we have one-on-ones. Thank God for Agile. We have one-on-ones, Can I jump on a meeting with you? Do you know this, man, that people always say that this meeting should have been an email. This meeting should not have held. Like, I don't think we should have had this meeting. And people hate meetings. I hate meetings too. I hate being micromanaged. I hate when line managers want to face one-on-one almost every time just because they want to get an update. I need to get an update and all stuff like that. Then we have reactive risk management. Reactive risk management means that you only react, and I'm talking about traditional. I feel like a whole lot of project managers left this phase already. This traditional project management phase, everybody left. Almost everybody left. If you are still at this phase, nah, I don't think. I think you should start thinking about moving to either point two or the AI-driven project manager. So for reactive risk management is saying that we don't react until there's a risk looking at us in the eye, until there's a stakeholders on our neck saying that, when do I get report? The project is not really working. And I saw a stat somewhere that says that I think is it 74 or 54? I can't remember. But he said over 50% of project fails. Like over 50% of, when I saw it, I was like, woo! Like over 50% of project. And just because when it comes to project, no matter how you want to manage, I'm sure that most of us manage quite a lot of projects, and we always say something that what you plan on paper might not be the same thing you see. Might not be the same thing you see when you start executing project. That has happened to me countless number of times, especially in the development space. You plan projects, you've done your budget, you've done quite a lot of people, you've reached out to the vendors and all. Then the D-Day, everything goes south. But again, reactive risk management, we've left this. What is our present day reality? What do we have now? What are project managers doing now? Some people have left this second and moved to AI driven. But what are people doing now? They are complex and fast-paced projects. We are in a world of agile. We are in a world of sprint. We are in a world of saying that I need to get this and I need to get it done as soon as possible. People are having very fast conversation when it comes to project. People are moving tables. People are shifting roles because there are quite a whole lot of things to be done, and how continuous stakeholder pressure. Just because stakeholders are included in meetings, you need to give them updates, you need to give them what they need to do. There are pressures coming in day and night. Why the project not being done? Why are we not getting the deliverables? A whole lot of people are talking that IOS and dating. I already spoke about it. Just because we have a perfect plan on the spreadsheet does not mean that it will happen. These are present day reality. A lot of people have moved from this place. And why do we have this present day reality? It's just because we still try to do things manually, just because we feel like I need to handle things end to end. I don't want to be micromanaged. I need to look at the spreadsheet every day. I remember when we were managing a project with Google. We managed a project with Google, and it was called the Google Impact Challenge. The project was just to digitize some of the content during COVID period, was to digitize some of the content that we had in like textbooks and all, to put them on an LMS platform. LMS means learning management system. Then one of the issues we started having was because it was COVID period, everybody was at home, we could not get all the team all together. That's one. Two, COVID happened to us at a very fast pace. People were unable to adapt to digital transformation, meaning that a whole lot of things we are doing traditionally, we are doing manually before. Now we have to shift base because we're not going to office. We don't have enough tech experts to be able to do digital, to move our content to digital. So we had a whole lot of issue. But yeah, we had the funding already, but the expertise was missing. That's the present day reality. Then where are we going? AI driven project manager. And this is where I want everyone. If you're not there, this is what I want. This is where I want every one of us as project managers to be. Meaning that we are backed up with data. I mean, and I tell you the truth, as an AI/ML engineer, as a data analyst, I've seen far, even going into AI, is that everything is moved with data. Without data, there's nothing. If we don't have the right data, I tell you, you won't have the right result. If you don't have the right data, you are going to have a skewed result, a biased one. We call it a biased one in econometrics. You are going to get a bias. Bias means that you're not going to get the right result. It's going to be skewed. It's going to be it's going to be subjective. Yeah, that's what it's going to be subjective, meaning that it's not giving you an accurate result. Though AI is not accurate the same way when we draw up models. The same way when we draw up econometric models, you say that, oh, yeah, their confidence intervals level, whereby you know that, oh, yeah, there might be mistakes here and there, but they are backed up with data as an AI-driven project manager that I want each and every one of us to be. There's real-time dashboards. Oh, God. I love this real-time dashboard so much that I feel like, where have I been all my life? Meaning, so you're telling me that I can get survey data from the field at one point, and I'm seeing what the survey data is saying. So, for example, if you're handling a project being sponsored by a stakeholder, or you have a funder that gave you more like $2 million to be able to go to secondary schools, or maybe you are into construction and you're handling just a project, and it either a stakeholder wants to get report almost immediately, or wants to get report on that project, or maybe you are doing a cross-functional team work whereby you're not working alone. And do you know what AI-driven project manager will look like? Is that once you get data backed up, you pass it through the AI tool that you're using, that which is what's it called, get mastery on, you can present a real-time dashboard. When I say dashboards, is that you are drawing a pie chart, you are drawing a bar chart, you are drawing a stack bar chart, but it's just for someone to really understand what you are communicating. And in my journey with data, I've seen so far that getting data is not really the issue. I mean, it can be a concern. Is that how do you communicate even this data to non-technical people? Meaning that you're saying that I have data set that was cleaned, not in raw format. I've done a bit of presentation, real-time dashboard, but someone that does not even understand the idea behind it can't even get you. Meaning that your stakeholders that are non-technical people, the people that gave you the fund, or the client you're working with, does not even understand what you've presented. But that's not the case when it comes to AI-driven PM, because when dashboards are drawn, there are quite a whole lot of legend. I mean, legend is just what tend to really give you an idea about the dashboard you've drawn. There's quite a whole lot of information that comes with real-time dashboards with AI that you cannot even miss. And do you know the bit about it is that you can correct even real time, but I'm not going to get out of myself. Predictive risk alert. Predictive risk alert means that, here I thought about reactive risk management, means that you only react when the risk, when the issue has happened, when the project has failed. But here, predictive, meaning that you can forecast. You can know before an issue happened. You can guess that, oh, PM, we are going to have an issue now. I think with what I'm seeing, with what the trend analysis I've done so far, I think we are going to be stuck in the second week of this project, and I feel like we need to do this and this. This is not me saying that you should go and learn coding and all. No. It is an understanding of the tools, of the AI tools that you are using, and with our own understanding as project managers that can actually make us a perfect and a smart AI-driven project manager. I want to be sure that I'm communicating, so I'm just going to react if I've not been too fast, and whether you are really getting what I'm saying.
Thank you, Amos. I will check with the team. with the attendees. El presentador quisiera confirmar si la velocidad a la que está yendo es mejor, si se entiende un poco más, si os parece bien o queréis que lo ajuste un poco más.
La verdad es que a mí me cuesta bastante. Pero es dificultad mía, es mi problema. No.
Bueno, si tienes alguna duda en concreto, sin problema la puedo traducir. No tengo la capacidad tampoco de traducir en tiempo real, me encantaría, pero es una
Claro.
profesión que no domino. Aquí veo otra respuesta por el chat, por Juan Manuel Loqué. Bueno, continuamos si hay, Susana, alguna cosa puntual que quieras que ayude sin ningún inconveniente, ¿vale?
Gracias.
Thank you, Amos. We received a positive response from one attendee. Susana is having a bit more difficulties, but I offered further support if she has any question where she would like my support. It's just a matter of her fluency. But you can continue with the current pace. That's good.
Okay. Yeah. Right now, I wish I can speak Spanish, you know.
Languages,
Yeah.
it's always a challenge in every form. So no, you're doing very well. Thanks for checking.
Yeah. Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay. So let's move. Right now, let me just brief what I've said. Number one is just saying that we have traditional project managers, which we should have left because definitely people are no longer in the traditional project management level again. Our present day reality is that we have quite a lot of complex projects, but they are fast paced. There are a lot of pressure coming from stakeholders, meaning when I say stakeholders, meaning I'm talking about client, I'm talking about different people on the project. High uncertainty because we don't know where the project will end just because of different things that can happen in the project. Where I want us to be at the end of this meeting is the AI-driven project manager who is backed up with data, meaning that you can forecast before things happen. You can tell your team that, oh, I can forecast that within 2 weeks we are going to have this issue, and I want us to take care of it now. It's not because you are a CR or something, it's just because your data with your AI tool is actually telling you, based off of past experience, you have this issue. There are real-time dashboards, meaning that you can create dashboards that can give you insightful information about your data. Then predictive risk analysis. You can predict risk before it happens. Yeah, so the next slide. But I need to say this before I go to the next slide. You don't necessarily need to be a data analyst for you to really work as an AI-driven project manager. And this is what I try to tell people. And I think more often than not, my data analyst background has really opened doors for me when it comes to project management, especially when it comes to creating dashboards, creating stuff like this. I mean, this content I just did. I mean, this PowerPoint slide. When it comes to pulling out data, even as a project manager, I feel like the data part of our work, we tend to really leave it out just because there's a team that handles it. We are waiting for the data team to give us the data, or no, we are waiting for the data team to give us the analysis. We give them the data sometimes, most times. I mean, most of the time we give it back to the tech team, in my own team, or the project managers, people, because now in my own team, I'm not a project manager, I'm the data analyst. So I get the data from the project managers and they are just waiting. They don't even create dashboards. If my own team will say, no, if you are doing impact reports as a data analyst, you are the one that will do it. You are doing stakeholder reporting, data analyst, you're the one to do it, which I feel like should not be the case. I feel like I know that there are job description here and there, but if you want to really step up in this age and time, we must really know how data can take us from point A to point B. And thankfully, AI can actually do that for us. But what is artificial intelligence in project management really? What three things I really just want you to know is that three things. There's what we call the machine learning, and there's what we call the automation, and there's what we call the data analytics. I've been talking about data analytics for a while now, which I know that you would really understand what I'm talking about. For machine learning, let me just put it in this point, this definition. You say that imagine you have a project management tool, let's say Trello, or let's say Monday.com, but too many tasks being assigned to just one person. It's like you have someone called, maybe, okay, Susanna. Susanna tend to have like 15 tasks just because of Susanna expertise. And just because Susanna wants to really keep picking up those tasks, you did not really notice that some of the project might be lacking, right? But in the real sense, you just keep, there's a way that you can assign tasks on Monday.com. It pops up as a notification. I don't know if you don't use Monday.com. I mean, just see it as a tool that can help you work smarter as a project manager, right? But often more than not, tasks will start getting delayed just because you've given one person a whole lot of tasks. But what machine learning does with the AI tool, with data, is that it can actually learn pattern and warn you next time to say that, oh, do not give tasks to this person because tasks will be delayed. Not just because the person is not competent, but just because there's too much on that person's desk. There's too much task on that person's desk. So that's what machine learning tends to learn, is when computers learn from data. It's like we learn from experience. It's like if I work in a particular place whereby leaves tend to cover up a ditch, I did not know. Maybe it just what's it called, rain, and I did not know that there was a ditch just because branches and leaves that cover it, and I entered into that particular ditch. It's an experience for me next time not to really go there. That's what machine learning does. It learns from the past to be able to predict future outcome. That's what machine learning is when our computers learn from data. So it mimics those data. It learns from years of data. ChatGPT you are seeing today learn from, that's why they call it a large language model. It learns from large data sets, from years. That's why it can give you not accurate, not perfect result, but most accurate, and they tend to really improve it day by day. I don't know if some of you used ChatGPT when it first came out. I think it was 2022. Yeah, 2022, 2023. It used to say that, oh, my data cannot go beyond this point. But right now, if you ask ChatGPT anything, it can give you current time, current date, current realities. It's just because they've updated the data to that point. So to cap it up, is just saying that machine learning is when computers learn from data. Just take it like that. It's just, so what we just really need to learn is that we have the risk prediction and forecasting. Project managers, we should be able to stand at a point and say that I know what will happen to my project in the next 2 weeks, even if the project had not happened yet. Why? Because you've had years of data to be able to predict and mimic what the project will look like. Like we always say, there are no new projects coming. There might be differences here and there, but I tell you that whatever project you are doing, one way or the other, you might be limited with knowledge to not know that it has happened before. And that's what machine learning is actually doing. Automation is just saying that you want to get something real time. You want to, what's it called? You want to get an alert notification real time. It's like you sent money to someone and the money gets there immediately. Meaning that I'm working on project A today. stakeholders and everyone on the project are getting updated in real time. And that's the point of data. Someone put in a data, it gets to everyone in the team. That's so lovely. So it's just the use of machine learning, automation, and also analytics behind this to be able to make work faster, to enhance decision making, to optimize workflow, and also that you can know what will happen tomorrow. Yeah. So three things. When you think about artificial intelligence in project management, think about machine learning. Machine learning is just saying that you learn from the past. Your data tends to, your computer learns from the data you've collected yesterday, day before yesterday, and automation, task and status update. You are not trying to go to your spreadsheet and press, oh, Susanna did something yesterday, let me mark it. That's very stressful. People don't do that anymore. People know who is working and who is not working, or you definitely know when data is coming in that tasks are really good and stakeholders are happy. Everyone is happy, right? So, what is where do we really move from? We move from our gut decision to data-driven guidance. What am I saying in essence? Before, we used to say that, I wrote it here that reality, many project managers tend to rely on instinct. If you've been somewhere for, maybe you've been working in your place of work for over 10 years, you're already a senior in that place. You should be able to really say and talk about patterns of project even before you start a project. Let me give an example. When I was working with Junior Achievement Nigeria, we used to do a project. We call it the company program. That project happens every year, and we always have funders for that project. Never misses. We have people like City Foundation. We have people like uh, Facebook sponsored it at the point too, but City Foundation will always give us money. Citibank, the foundation of will always give us money. We had Act Foundation. We have a lot of funders, so we know that this project will happen every year. I had worked with Junior Achievement for over 3 years or 4 years, but before I started working with Junior Achievement, I was a volunteer, so I knew the intricacy of the project, but not in-house. But the volunteer, I know that we go to school with the student about, starting a business and all stuff like that. But after 1 year with Junior Achievement Nigeria, I could literally tell you the end-to-end implementation of company program. That's the truth. Even this is not using AI, this is not using anything. It's just based off of my experience. So many project managers tend to rely on past experience when it comes to decision making. So if we have a new person in the team, I can literally tell the person, this is what you will see on the field when you go to the field. This is how some of the teachers react to you. I might not be correct 100%, but I tell you that my experience tends to really guide other people. But note, we need to move away from that because projects are getting complex. A lot of things are changing. Now, where do I want us to move to? The shift is that we can now get data based off your experience. Definitely, there are data that are backing it up. When I say data, I'm just talking about the usual thing we collect. When you're done with project, we want to collect feedback about the project. You just, or maybe let's say, you just started a project about iterating a particular software and you did more like an MVP. MVP means the minimum viable product, whereby you want people to test the product before it goes out. And that's like a mini project. Data you are getting from it is what people are actually saying about the project. Oh, I think you should change this color. I think you should change this red color. I think you should change this blue color and all stuff like that. So the shift is saying that AI turns raw data into actionable insight, meaning that you can go from what went wrong to what is likely going to go wrong next, knowing that you have data to back it up. Like I said, AI tend to give you foresight, tend to tell you that, Suzanne, this project is going to go bad in the next 2 weeks. And this is the reason why I'm saying that this and this and this and this, all thanks to artificial intelligence. And just because of past data. What is the principle behind it? Is that data is the fuel, AI is the engine. And you know an engine can never work without fuel. At least that's what they say. Now we have electric cars, right? But know that, always think about it that this way. Data is the fuel, AI is the engine. If you want the two move hand in hand, you have to really, get enough data to be able to make informed decision on artificial intelligence. Any tool you see today, know that have been worked on with thousands of data, accurate data, clean up data. So like I said here, unstructured data, AI process it, we get our project insight. So we wrap it up. This is the PM life cycle, meaning that for every project you have, you are going to pass through this 5 cycle, meaning that you're going to pass through initiation. Planning. Initiation means that you're just starting, having meetings and all stuff like that. You're just trying to get, quite a whole lot of information as you can get. You start planning, you execute, you monitor, then you close. But have you ever thought about it that each of this life cycle, if you manage it end to end, with you just trying to do manual managing or try to use Excel spreadsheet to manage initiation, try to have one-on-one call with someone, try to have meetings, emails back and forth, reporting on this. Oh, God, that would be so stressful. But AI has made our life easier with a whole lot of tools. I've listed some of these tools here. Myself and Liz were talking before this minute started out, and we are like, oh God, there are quite a whole lot of AI tools. And I tell you the truth that sometimes I get lost with tools, AI tools coming out. And I do tell my friends sometimes, I said, and you can quote me anywhere, is that some of the industrial job that would make a lot of money or that will be very popular in coming years, I will tell you, is the tech education. When I say tech education, I mean that a whole lot of people putting out information about a particular AI tool. Have you seen those videos where people are explaining what this AI tool does? Another person explain, oh, there's an AI tool that just came out that can actually help you turn your videos to what's it called? More like a marketing campaign. And these are people that tend to really give us information about these tools. And I tell you, if you keep following them, you keep looking at yourself like, which tool can do everything? And I don't need to be jumping from one place to another. I've asked myself over and over again. In my current workplace, we use Monday.com. Monday.com, I love Monday.com because I can get real-time data. Everyone fills an assessment. I see it from the back end. I see real-time dashboards, all good. But do you know what Monday.com does now? They now put an AI enabler into Monday.com in such a way whereby you don't even need to do anything. You just need to know what to do and how to enable it, and you will get the right result. I'll tell you for free, initiation. I've used Airtable before, but I tell you that there's also the Lucidchart AI. And you can use these tools to actually create portfolio prioritization, meaning that why should we go with these steps? Why should we do it this way? What portfolio should we prioritize first? And also looking at the risk also. Because these tools that you're using, they've been trained with a whole lot of project management data, with a whole lot of project data. They can tell you which portfolio will fail at 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Even if you ask ChatGPT about a project that you're out doing in your workplace, and you tell me that my manager want me to do more like a comparative analysis on this project, which one do you think will fail first? Do you know that it will tell you which one will fail first, why it will fail, and why it thinks you should go for a particular project or the other? These particular tools too can do it. My next slide also shows a whole number of tools. But I tell you, I will go to, I mean, the tail end of this particular presentation would definitely tell you some of the stuff I will have as an advice for people that are just coming to try to enable AI into their project management journey. Planning, Smartsheet. I still use Smartsheet day before yesterday. I think to have Smartsheet is a blessing. I mean, personally to me, because Smartsheet does quite a whole lot of predictive scheduling, mind map. I don't know. Before I used to use mind map, but I no longer use mind map because I can just give Smartsheet a particular prompt and their templates like Canva too, Google Sheet and Gemini. And just because, the reason why I tend to really like what Google, Microsoft is actually really doing is just because for every particular tool that Google has created, they've created an AI to enable it. And that's what makes our work very easier. Your Google Sheet, though it is real time, but it can start suggesting prompts, Excel's prompt for you, even before you type it. Before we used to cram a whole lot of Excel code, but now you don't need to do that anymore. What you just need to do is just enable Gemini, and Gemini would actually tell you. And just because they are chat-based, made your life easier. So you can naturally ask the question, hello, Gemini, what do you think I should do about this project? Because I'm going to create a dashboard. It tells you everything. Do you know the interesting thing about that?
Sorry, Amos, to interrupt. Just for you to be aware, we have around 10 minutes left. Just not sure how you're progressing with the agenda, but just to make sure you don't run out of time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm rounding up right now. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, so Trello too is there. I mean, Trello now has a butler, ClickUp. Trello has a butler. I think we should check it out if you're using Trello. I mean, if you're already using it, kudos to you. Power BI is for Microsoft, so Microsoft has Copilot. It's just for you to really see how you can enable these tools to make you a better project manager. So these are all the tools I was able to think about. Some that I Googled, some that I was able to really check. Asana is there, Notion AI is doing a whole lot. But I tell you that if you put all these tools in ChatGPT to know how to use them, you'll be amazed. And this is how I want you to think about it in just 1 minute, is that compare yourself why you're using ChatGPT and why you are not. Or let me say why you're using AI and why you're not. I try to use this traditional approach and AI's approach. For traditional approach, you see, you always manual tracking of deliverables. Status reports are written manually on Fridays. You are running late, But there's a tool that we use at my workplace. I call it Alta.ai. You can check it out. It goes into meetings with you, get the minute of the meeting, get you back a report, more like a summary, like you're having a minute of the meeting. Superb. Like, I think you should check it out. And these are things that can generate reports for you at every minute. Asana or ClickUp can suggest workload rebalancing, meaning that, you are saying that, there's a whole lot of workload on this person. I think you should really, try to work it out by trying to reschedule those tasks without you doing anything. You're just trying to give a prompt to say that you're trying to see the progress of how your project staff are doing. Then it tends to really rebalance it. Potential risk forecasting, like I said, Slack GPT is owned by Salesforce. They've embedded with Slack and make work easier. Tell you, if you're using Slack, I think it's something you should really look out for. What are the benefits of AI driven? I've spoken about this. They're better forecasting. You can predict problems before they happen. It can save time for you. Sorry, rounding up. There's smarter workload planning, clearer dashboards because you don't need to create them on Power BI or Tableau, faster communication like Slack GPT, stronger stakeholders trust. Stakeholders are now very what's it called? You've built credibility with the leadership so much that they know that what you are giving them, because they can see what is happening in real time with the AI tool you're using. But are AI perfect? No. Are there issues with it? Yes. And this is where I want us to be very careful. There are bias in the algorithm. They can be biased, like I told you. If you give it some level of information, if you use that ChatGPT so much, you know that sometimes it tends to really give you error, or it tends to give you another thing because it's skewed towards what you've been telling him, telling ChatGPT, what's it called, so much. So it tends to partition the result it gives to you based on the data, and it's all on data, right? Data privacy, you have to be careful. If the tools you're not using are not secured properly, they can be leaked, and you don't want that. Over reliance on AI, team may stop thinking critically or might even blindly trust automated decision without even checking. So you need to also look at that, and resistance from team. And this is what I always feel that people tend to really have. When you introduce a new tool to the team, there's something we call change management. People don't want to change. People don't want to use a new tool. People are tired of changing tools. So you need what's it called? And it might be like you're micromanaging them because they can see the real time dashboards, they can see what you're doing, why they use it and how. So you might need to really check that any tools that you're using is actually doing the best. And if you're getting started, audit your current tools. Some of these tools are currently they already have AI features. You don't just know it. Choose something, pick one pain point, one thing that you are really, really, really angry about, or that takes a whole lot of the time. What takes a lot of my time is creating reports, but I've seen a tool that can actually help me in 1 minute. I know I still have to sit down with it, but it is getting really better with the tool that I currently use. Activate built-in AI. You have that with Copilot, Slack GPT. Upskill your team. If you're a project manager, definitely you need to really have that session with your team. Do a start, reflect, and improve, meaning that you run an AI experiment, use a particular tool, see how people are really using it, then you iterate it and see how people are getting comfortable with it. So this is my final takeaway. Thank you so much for having me, Luz. I know that I supposed to close this 1:45, but I think me trying to really slow down on my conversation or trying to really emphasize stuff really took a whole lot of my time. So
Very much
really,
appreciated also for that adaptation of your pace, Amos. It was very, very helpful and appreciated.
yeah, thank you.
So, we still have a few minutes for a question and answer. Is there any question from the audience? ¿Alguna pregunta que queráis hacerle al presentador? I'm also checking in the chat. No questions yet. I would like to raise one, Amos. It's about if you could think of what has been the most valuable feedback you have received from any team member or any client based on the insights or KPIs you have been able to obtain from AI tools when reporting projects performance.
Yeah, thank you so much. I remember that we had used G4. We call it G4. It's called Google Analytics.
Okay.
There's a way you can add Gemini to the back end, right? So I'd created a particular platform. I call it Entry Edge. Entry Edge is called Entry Edge AI enabled platform. What this platform really does is just to teach young graduates in Nigeria on how to navigate the job market. So they sign up, they try to learn new skills. It's like Coursera, but for this, they don't need to really do so much about what's called watching a whole lot of videos and all. And when I enable the AI to track how people are really learning, I was I was so happy to actually see how it tracks the user behavior, meaning that how people are actually responding to the platform. So I could really go back to the website developer to say that, oh, this is what people are saying. Normally,
Nice.
I would have had that after they are done with the courses. I would have had that through reviews. The way we send Google Forms to people to say that, how was your experience today? Or did you enjoy the meeting and all? But this time it's real time, meaning that I see the way people are dropping off the course, what people are really doing, what are they really getting through that AI-enabled G4 with Gemini, and it was actually really very good. Another one that I really, really love was the one I mentioned, Outer.ai. I love it so much because it tends to tell me everything. If I invite Outer.ai into this meeting, it's going to, and I don't know how it does it, because I know some people don't even speak out loudly in meetings, or they have, because of language barrier and all, but it tends to really explain everything that has been said in the meeting. If you're not in the meeting, you're not going to know, really.
Yeah. Thanks. Very insightful, Amos. If there's no further question from anyone, si no hay preguntas de nadie más, ya hemos cubierto la duración de este webinar. Time's up. In any case, is there any closing remark you have, Amos, for the attendees?
Yeah, I think my closing remark is just to say that, guys, the world is changing. We have to also be on top of our game. This is not going to reduce. Tell you the truth, you'll keep getting a whole lot of people talking about, will AI take my job away? There will be fear here and there. But I tell you, just stay on top of your game. And like I said, do not try to allow people to suggest AI tools or tools that can make your work better if you can do it in your team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good closing remark. Thank you very much, Amos.
Yeah.
So I have shared the PDU's code in the meeting chat. You should be able to copy it from there. I want to thank Amos for your excellent presentation and everyone for attending. Also want to thank the PMI Galicia Spain chapter for organizing this webinar. Please stay tuned on our social media. I'm sure we will be publishing more new events with interesting content such as this, and look forward to seeing you all again in future events. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You.